Hi, I'm Dana Hanson. I'm the Director of Franchise Development for College Hunks, Hauling Junk and Moving. Super excited this morning. I'm joined by Vimal and Shivam. How you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing great.
Hey, doing well, Dana. Thanks for having us.
Man, so good to see your faces again. It seems like yesterday when you guys flew down to Tampa and we were kind of cruising around. I think I got rear-ended, when at a traffic stop, just before Discovery Day, like the night before.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget that. But you guys, it was such a pleasure to be able to spend time with you guys and getting to know you a little bit. Would you mind introducing yourselves and maybe share a little bit about, like where you guys are located, that sort of thing?
Yeah, my name is Vimal Patel. We're located in Richmond, Virginia. We were the first franchise in the system, I believe, and we bought this territory.
And I'm Shiva Amin, again, here partnering with Vimal. As Vimal mentioned, we did purchase an existing territory that was already established in Richmond.
Awesome. Yeah. And what did you guys do prior to College Hunks? Like, I know I know your story, but if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about your background.
So I am currently in the hospitality industry. So I have restaurants and hotels.
And I was a corporate guy with some real estate, and so I kind of wanted to gear away from the whole corporate, you know, corporate life, and so me and Vimal kind of partnered up and purchased College Hunks.
That's awesome. So how did you guys know each other before?
So we knew each other from college. Our wives are really good friends. So we've known each other for a long time.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we've known each other for quite some time, maybe even, I don't know, even late high school, but we went to school together. Our wives are good friends, and yeah.
Awesome. So obviously your background is, totally something totally different than junk hauling and moving. How did you, how did you come upon College Hunks and why did you decide to join the franchise family?
Yep. So I think we just saw a lot of competitors here, right? Whether it's junk hauling or moving. We really thought in the Richmond market, this was a kind of a quote unquote recession proof opportunity. We did see the growth potential, maybe not to what we are today, but we kind of thought that there would be some growth potential down the road. And so I think we flew down to Tampa for Discovery Day, and that was kind of it.
Yeah, that was a great time. I really enjoyed, like I said, hosting you guys, and I remember it like it was yesterday. How long ago was it now? Do you guys remember?
2.5 years.
Yeah, I think it was December of 2019.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So who does what within the company now? Like, how do you guys kind of divide? How do you decide like who does what, and how's that look?
Yeah, so now the first 6 months a year, it was kind of all hands on deck. We were kind of all in it, right? We're kind of learning the business, and me and Bimo would be here every single day. And then as we grew, we kind of started hiring. Well, we always had an operations manager, but then we kind of grew on top of that. We got a GM, admin now, and so now it's kind of just overseeing and making sure we're following the playbook that you guys kind of produce and help us.
Love it. So how long did it take you to pick up, like, like obviously coming from something totally different, like most of our owners are not coming from our industry, but I'm curious, like, what was the learning curve like, where you're kind of picking up the terminology and you're kind of putting your systems in place? Was that something that was pretty quick, or did it take some time? Like, what did that look like?
So I think College Hunks does a great job of kind of directing you. The coaches do a great job. They tell you what you need. Sometimes it's, hey, we really want to do this. And they'll say, no, it's not a good idea. Let's focus on this. And we learned quickly that we should follow the playbook. So we kind of just looked at our expected growth, and we went and stuck with the operations manager. Then we got a GM. Now we have an admin, and me and Shivam just help assist everybody and make sure that they're hitting their goals, and making sure that the guys are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
That's awesome. So if you wouldn't mind, give me an idea of like what your organization looks like, since you mentioned that you have some people in some key areas. How many trucks, how many hunks, what's that look like?
Yeah, so when we took over, we had one operations manager and 5 or 6 guys, two trucks, 2 vehicles. Today we have operations manager, admin, a general manager, 9 vehicles, and about 40 hunks.
Holy smokes. That's awesome, man. I've heard some really great things from your coaches and you guys. That's one of the best things, we provide the coaching, but you have to be open to it and you have to be receptive to it. And I've heard nothing but great things about you guys. So let's talk accomplishments. Like you've grown a lot, as far as number of trucks, et cetera. What are your most proud accomplishments so far in your College Hunks journey?
So I think one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to hit the $1 million club. We hit that pretty quickly. Now we want to hit the $2 million club, and we're pretty close to that this year. So we're excited. We've been actually increasing double almost every year.
Wow.
So I don't know what's going to happen next year, but we'll shoot for the 4, but hopefully we'll hit the 3.
Man, that's awesome. I love to hear that. And I love your, like it's always good to be ambitious and you guys make it happen. So, nothing happens without hard work and effort. And I know you guys are putting a lot into it. So as far as, the values in the company, we're a company that's really big on core values. I'm curious to hear, from you two, like what are your favorite core values and why?
I kind of like building leaders. The reason being is these guys, the hunks typically that we get are younger guys, right? Whether they're educated or not, or maybe just high school, or maybe kind of left high school for some work, but kind of grooming them up from what they've come into versus what they leave out. A building story here is actually our current operations manager started on the trucks as a wingman about 2.5 years ago. He's kind of been with us since day one, but came in as a wingman and kind of went up the ladder, captain, did a little bit of estimating, did a little bit of office admin, and now he's actually our operations manager. So it's not only to be there for their support backbone, but other folks around, other hunks see that, right? And it's very inspiring. And again, at some point in my time, I was in those shoes too, right? So I just need a little bit more guidance and a little bit more push.
Love hearing that. How about for you, Vimal?
Yeah, same. I think we forgot we have an estimator role as well that we kind of skipped on. So we've had a couple of estimators, and they usually have came up from just being like a wingman and just watching the guys grow. We have a lot of guys that go to college and they come back, and I like seeing their growth. And sometimes they end up like, hey, this was just their stepping stone, and we love watching them grow and get into their final career. Sometimes this is their final career, which is awesome. So
love. Yeah. I think that's a really, really good point. These are young people that I think everyone's looking for purpose. And of course, they want to make a living, being able to do this. But I think if you feel excited about what you do when you get up in the morning, it changes the whole scope of your day. So I really appreciate you sharing that. I am curious, like, was there ever, like you talk about building leaders, with these young guys, sometimes I'll have people kind of share like stories of like we had somebody that was doing a job and they had like a cat was like in the couch. Or you guys have anything, like any weird like little stories, like where like you called the homeowner because you found something or something unusual happened or anything like that that comes to mind for you guys?
there's always crazy things that happen.
There's always something. I can't think of anything offhand, but I mean, it's just kind of going above and beyond, right? I mean, right is right, wrong is wrong. And so we always try to give back, right? I mean, the biggest thing here is like donation, right? We get a lot of donation requests in Richmond, and we truly try to donate for the client, right? But sometimes it's like, it's tough to say, hey, you can't really donate this because it's XYZ, whether it's, it's just rotten wood or whatever it may be, but it's just kind of the delivery on that, coaching the guys, understanding and having those conversations with the clients, right? But to answer your question, nothing comes out hand, but I mean, in this industry, I mean, something every week is a new week, right? Every day is a new week. So I think we appreciate that. And so does the guys, right? I mean, it's, you don't really know what you're going to see or get on the field until you actually go do it.
Yeah, well, actually, I do have a story. David, our GM, had to go out a few months back because the client had packed everything and everything was in boxes, and she couldn't figure out where her husband's ashes were. And he took his time. He went out there. I mean, it took 2.5 hours, but he helped her go through some of these boxes, and they did find the ashes. So that was exciting.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing because it's not really the story, but she was just so frantic, right? I mean, she couldn't find books and this, that. It was all. And then she kind of told David, this was over the phone at the time. It was like, hey, I really can't find my husband's ashes, and that means everything. So he kind of dropped everything and ran out there, and it did take a couple of hours, and there it was, right? The client just really didn't unpack anything, right? So it's just kind of getting in there, but there was that level of comfort, right? Hey, someone's out there, we're doing it together, and then after that, it's nothing but gratitude towards David, so.
I love hearing those stories because they're very personal. And, I'm sure she was probably pretty panicked, to be in that situation. Listen, fulfill, delight, one of my favorite, core values. And the fact that he literally stopped what he's doing to go make this a priority and make that happen. I appreciate you sharing that. I love seeing you guys on this journey, and it's always a pleasure to be able to talk to you. Anything else you guys would want to add?
No, I mean, I would just say really it's just following that playbook. It's there for a reason. Brand Central has created it, took time, effort, really just follow it. You may not like it up front, or you may think otherwise, but it's a proven playbook with success. And so I think even early on, we're like, that's probably not the right approach, right? But you learn very quickly that it is, right? These territories become territories for a reason. The truck allocation per population and territory is there for a reason. So I would just say thank you to Brand Central for all the support that you guys give us, and really for anybody watching this, really just truly follow that playbook.
No,
Yeah,
I appreciate that. Yeah. So, one of the things that is challenging when you've owned another business, sometimes you think, oh man, that'll never work because it wouldn't have worked in your business. But then you try it with College Hunks, you're like, what? Well, it actually does work. So I think that is one of the challenges. I'm really glad that you brought that up because, experience has told you in your other business, what works, but we're the experts in this lane. So you kind of put on those blinders and follow along. Bimo, is there anything that you want to add?
Yeah, I would say, the first year is going to be fun. There's a lot of learning. We're still learning. It's been over 2 years, and just, take your time, and I guarantee you'll reap the rewards as long as, you follow the playbook and you put in a little bit of work early on.
Man, I appreciate hearing that. And so great to see your faces this morning, be able to connect with you guys. Continued success.
All right. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Dana. Thanks for having us again.
Thank you.